The Power of Delta Phi, Harnessing Change to Work for You. Written by W. Donald Fraser. Narrated by Mathew Longmire. Chapter 1. The Mystery. So it finally comes, the day every father fears and hopes for, the day his beloved child comes to him to ask, no, to interview him about life and why it's so perplexing. My precious wee lass had come to me seeking knowledge. Wow, what an exciting, albeit scary, moment in life. I had to ask myself if I was prepared to meet this critical challenge, and I knew I had no choice if I were to remain her hero. What if my response was perceived as wrong or seemed meaningless to her? What if the presentation was weak and the message lost its value in the process, or was so poorly communicated that all I did was confuse her further? What if I fail? These are just a few of the questions a father asks himself in preparation for such a critical task. The good news is that I actually did have some answers. Back in the day, I had similar questions myself, and I asked the only person I trusted at the time. I asked my mentor, the old man. This is how I remember it. Back in time, 40 years or so ago, I had just broken off a long-term relationship with what I had perceived as my soulmate, and life had no meaning left for me, it seemed. I was not spiritually connected, and I felt completely lost. My father was killed suddenly in what was reported as an accident during my teens only a few years prior. The one person I looked up to and believed might have valuable and reliable answers to my questions was my best friend's father, my boss, the old man. He was revered as the spirit guide in the small mountain hamlet where we lived. It seemed like everyone in our village went to him for advice and counsel on difficult issues. His wisdom was without question and reputed to be gospel when it came to resolving issues in our town. The challenge for me would be to find a way to ask him for help without compromising my sensitive adolescent male ego. I didn't have to wait long for an answer to my dilemma. As always, he recognized that something was wrong with me and offered a solution of sorts. "What's wrong with you today?" he asked in a caring but disturbed manner. "You seem very distracted and not focused on work today," he continued. "Nothing that I care to share," I replied, to both his and my dismay. He stopped me in my tracks, firmly grabbed my arm, and insisted, "Sit down here with me, and we'll worry together." I was dumbfounded. I couldn't or wouldn't dare act insubordinately towards my mentor, especially in the presence of other employees. So sit down I did, and it seemed like hours before either of us spoke. He was waiting for me to break the ice, which I finally did. "How long are we going to sit here?" I asked. "Until it's resolved, and you decide you're over whatever is worrying you, or you get past feeling sorry for yourself and get back to work," he demanded. "Wow, it's like that?" I asked. "You better believe it. I can't have our lead man endangering his colleagues by being distracted with self-pity and doubt," he exclaimed. "Okay, so how do you deal with all this BS in life?" I asked. "Come to my office and I'll share a secret with you," he answered. His office was off limits to everyone except himself, and on rare occasions, a special guest for whom he had respect and trust. All the folks in town always wondered what he had in there and why he kept it so private. As a manager of the station, I had been invited in to help with accounting and managerial duties on one or two occasions when he made an exception and took a day off. I had never before noticed the dusty old book that laid hiding behind a pile of old papers on top of the filing cabinet in the corner. It was dark and spooky in there, and I never liked staying longer than absolutely necessary. It was an honor to be invited in, and I always felt special for having the privilege. However, it was always an experience best spent in an expeditious manner. It was here that he presented me with his secret answer to most all issues he encountered. It was here that he loaned me the book. I wasn't real fond of reading at that time in my life. Girls, skiing, sailing, and just having fun
Sample complete. Ready to continue?